2MIA 95.1 News.
It's 3 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Alexis Carey. Qantas is to resume flights between Australia and London and Frankfurt later today. The airline's chief executive, Alan Joyce, says scheduled services between Australia and Europe via Asia will recommence tomorrow. The company says it could take 2 to 3 weeks to clear the current backlog of passengers. Meanwhile, the first flight out of Australia with Singapore Airlines is due to depart from Sydney shortly. Opposition leader Tony Abbott has flagged major changes to the dole scheme, calling for the dole to be restricted for under 30s. Lisa Barnes reports.
Major changes to Australia's social security system with plans to cut dole payments for people under the age of 30. While Tony Abbott has yet to formally announce the policy, he says it will encourage many people to take up employment. He says while Australians deserve a fair go, they should also be encouraged to have a go. Mr Abbott also says people need to be prepared to move in order to gain work, whether that be shifting towns or moving interstate. Lisa Barnes, Perth.
A manslaughter charge has been dropped against Mark Wilhelm, the man charged over the death of a Brisbane woman on board a P&O cruise almost 8 years ago. A New South Wales Supreme Court judge says he may have been technically and morally responsible for Diane Brimble's death, but not legally responsible. Wilhelm then pleaded guilty to supplying Ms Brimble with the drug GHB, for which he'll be sentenced next Thursday. A historic court decision that protected agricultural land from the big miners on the Liverpool plains could be sidestepped by the New South Wales government. Legislation being introduced would undermine the Supreme Court ruling last month that makes it harder for mining companies to apply for exploratory licences. But the State Mineral Resources Minister Ian MacDonald argues the proposed law will actually help farmers.
The Supreme Court decision creates impossibly bureaucratic, lengthy and costly delays between farmers and exploration companies, and also undermines the confidentiality of negotiated arrangements.
Briefly making news this hour, the first Greens minister in Australia has been unveiled, with Tasmanian Greens leader Nick McKim forming a part of the Labor minority government. The head of Victoria's prisons is defending his staff over claims gangland figure Carl Williams lay dying in prison for 25 minutes before he was found by guards. And teenage sailor Jessica Watson, the 16-year-old, is tipped to sail through Sydney Heads early next month. Updating sport, AFL great Ron Barassi says shifting the grand final to October should be a last resort. League bosses will meet tomorrow to discuss ways to accommodate the introduction of the new Gold Coast and Western Sydney teams. Rugby League and the Roosters will be looking for redemption in this Sunday's Anzac Day clash with St George Illawarra. And Australian fast bowler Brett Lee says he's fit to play in next month's 2020 World Cup in the West Indies after recovering from a broken thumb. And that's the latest in news and sport.
2MIA 95.1 Weather.
And today for Griffith and the MIA, fine and mostly sunny, light to moderate northeast to northwest winds, going for a top of 28. Tomorrow mostly sunny and 29, Saturday rain and 30. Sunday mostly sunny and 21. Monday mostly sunny and 20, and Tuesday sunny and 17. Right now outside, the humidity is sitting on 28%. Winds 12 kilometres per hour from the north, gusting to 17 k's. Air pressure sitting on 1019. Currently at Yanko, 28.9 degrees, Narandra 28.7 and Hay 29.3. And at the Griffith Weather Station, going for a top of 29. We're sitting on 29.1. I'm Alexis Carey on 2MIA, Griffith's News Leader.